Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello everyone. Today I would like to present genetics and ecology, biodiversity, fungi. My name is Zubair bin Aznan, and my group members consist of Muhammad Farhan bin Muhammad Sattar with matrix number 9200112, Muhammad Isa Hafi bin Abdul Hadi 9200115, and me, Zubair bin Aznan alias Nick Aznan 9200106, with our instructor's name, Madam Nurashikin. So first, we're gonna look table of contents. First, we have introduction, which is introduction of fungi. Second, classification, which we have taxonomy chart of fungi. Third, applications, which we have general applications and uses of fungi. And fourth, Islamic perspective, which we have hadith and explanation about fungi. First, introduction. Fungi is plural of fungus, multicellular with cell wall but not perform photosynthesis. Any of about 144,000 known species of organisms of the kingdom of fungi. Symbiotic relationship, saprotrophic, parasitic, or mutualistic. They are widespread, mainly terrestrial, which are typically non-motile. The structure of cell wall is similar to plants, but chemically the fungi cell wall are composed of chitin. Fungi stores carbohydrates as glycogen and not starch. Reproduction in fungi. We have two reproduction in fungi, which is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, we have first mycelium with one end undergo mitosis and produce spores, and then spores undergo germination to produce mycelium with one end. In sexual reproduction, we have mycelium with one end undergo plasmogeny, which is haploid cells from two different mycelia fused to form a heterokaryotic cell with two or more nuclei, and produce heterokaryotic stage. And then heterokaryotic stage undergo karyogamy, which is the nuclei fused to form a diploid, two-end zygote, and produce zygote. And then zygote undergo meiosis to produce haploid spores with one end. And then spores undergo germination to produce a multicellular mycelium. Next is types of fungi. First, we have phylum Zygomycota. The example is Mucor, which is bread molds and rhizophus. The symbiotic relationship is saprotrophic and parasitic. Next, we have phylum Ascomycota. The example is Penicillium, Aspergillus, and Neurospora. Normally, they are saprotrophic and parasitic. Next, we have phylum Chytridiomycota. The example is Allomyces. The symbiotic relationship is saprotrophic and pathogen. Phylum Chytridiomycota reproduce sexually and asexually. Next is phylum Basidiomycota. The example is Agaricus, which is mushroom. They reproduce sexually by producing basidia or asexually by formation of spore. Next, we're gonna go through to the taxonomy chart of fungi. The domain is eukaryotes. The kingdom is Mycete, which is fungi. kingdom Mycete is divided into 5 divisions, which is phylum. The first one, we have Chytridiomycota, next Zygomycota, Ascomycota, Basidiomycota, and Deuteromycota, which is asexual fungi. Then, Ascomycota is classed into the Ascomycetes. The class Ascomycetes include 5 orders. The first one is Saccharomycetes and Schizosaccharomycetes, which is yeast. And the fourth list is the filamentous Ascomycetes, which is Eurotiles, which is fruiting body Euclystothaceum. Next, Sordariales and Zalariales, which is fruiting body Perithecium. Then Pezizales, which is fruiting body and Apothecium. And the last but not least, Dothidiales, which is fruiting body and Ascostroma. And then Basidiomycota is divided into 3 classes, which is Basidiomycetes, Teleomycetes, which is rust, and Ascomycetes, which is smuts. Basidiomycetes divided into 4th order. The first is Agaricales, which is mushrooms, Lycoperidiales, Phallales, and Nidulariales, which is puffballs. The third one is Aphilophorales, which is polypores, and the fourth one is Pteramilales, Dacrymycetales, and Auriculariales, which is jelly fungi. There are 4 general applications that we can look of fungi in our daily life, which is first, we have in food industry. The fungi used for food and in preparation of food. Next, the second one is in chemical industry, which is fungi used to produce pest control. Next one, the third one is in medical industry, which is fungi used to produce citric acid, antibiotics, and human hormones. The fourth, last but not least, in science research. Fungi used as model research organism by scientists. The application and uses of fungi. First, to make a dough using yeast. Combine 2 to half cups flour, sugar, and dissolved yeast and salt in large mixer bowl. Heat water, milk, and butter until very warm, which is 120 degrees Celsius to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. With spoon, stir in enough remaining flour to make soft dough. Cover and let dough rest 10 minutes. There are a picture of yeast, which dough before first rising, after rising, and after proofing in tin and ready to bake. There are also equation of using yeast in baking. Next, to make penicillin using penicillium mold. How did they make penicillin? Is for many years, scientists knew that certain molds killed some bacteria. However, researchers needed to understand how to harness this antibacterial microbe and to manufacture enough of the substance before they could make a useful medicine. Basically, the penicillium mold naturally produced the antibiotic penicillin, and then the result is undergoing the fermentation tanks by adding a kind of sugar and other ingredients. This process increased the growth of penicillium. Then, produced the penicillin molecule, which separated the penicillin product from the mold. And then, finally, penicillin is purified for use as an antibiotic medicine. Next, we gonna go Islamic perspective of fungi. There are a hadith which is Al-kam'atu minal manni wa ma'uha shifa'un lil ain. The messengers of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-kama, truffles, a type of edible fungus that grows underground, are like man. For example, they grow naturally without man's care, and their water heals eye disease. Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Explanation of Hadith. Quranic foods. The Prophet ﷺ said that mushroom is a good cure for the eyes. It also serves as a form of birth control and arrests paralysis. Mushrooms are good for bladder selenium. They produce vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. They are an excellent source of iron. They help with weight control as they do not contain many calories. And then the last one, we have research resources or references. So, that's all from our group, which present about fungi. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.